You're watching Adorama TV.
Hi everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Adorama TV. Well, we have a great product to show you this week. It's called the Camtrol Prime, and it's made for mounting small and medium-sized video cameras and then really giving you a full range of motion that's very stable. So let me walk you through the Camtrol to show you how it works. Now, before I start, there are two different sizes of this. This is the Prime, and then there's another one called the Grand. And the Grand has a little bit longer arm so that you can put larger cameras on that. So this is really made for smaller handheld cameras. Now, one of the problems with small cameras like this guy, and this is a Canon Vixia, is that you're holding them on your hand like this, and your hand can shake, and you can get a lot of fatigue. And so what the Camtrol does is it mimics a larger camera where you have a top handle like this, and then you can really hold on to that and get some nice smooth motion. So there's some features that are really nice with this Camtrol. So let me sort of walk you through how this works. Sort of the principle behind this is to lower the center of gravity, so it's right below the camera, and so that gives you a really nice stable platform. And then this top handle here can be configured to move in all kinds of different things. So this is for a low angle view, so you can pop out your viewing screen here and move your camera nice and smooth. But if you want to, you can do all kinds of things, and that is allowed by these little pivoting points here. So you can start moving these around. So if you want to get really a low angle, then you can move this arm like this, and you can get really down low. Or if you want to have a really high angle of view, you can do the opposite, where you put this down like this, and then maybe straighten that out, and you can get really high above you. You can do some really nice configurations where maybe if you want to record yourself for some kind of blog, I think in the instructions they call this the double whammy, which I think is pretty fun. But you can configure this so it's actually pointing back at yourself, and so you can do some camera work like that. So there's all kinds of configurations with the Camtrol. Now, the other thing that's really nice about this, you can see that you can configure these different setups really quickly, but there's also this platform. So if you just want to have your camera on a steady surface and make sure that nothing moves around, well, that's where these little legs pop out, and you can use those just like that. And of course, you can take these legs and fold them up, and so when you're putting this in your bag, it makes sure that that's really nice and compact, so you're saving some space. So as long as we're talking about this base, let me show you a couple other things that are really important. And that is, you want to be able to configure this so that you have nice balance. So if I flip this upside down here, you can see that this has a lot of slots here that allow me to move where my camera is located on this plate. And so I can loosen this just a little bit, and I can slip this over here to the left, and I can move this camera forward or back or to the side. And what that allows me to do is make sure that the camera is balanced exactly where I need it to be. And that's really important when you're trying to make sure that your camera is nice and balanced. Now, there's a couple other things that are really nice about this. And one of the things is when you're operating a camera like this, you once you have this all set up and you have your camera and your handle located where you want it to be, one of the things that you can't do easily is change the start and stop button and the zoom buttons, and that's where we have this nice V-slope bracket, and that's what this little guy is right here. And what that's designed to do is allow you to attach a controller for zooming and starting and stopping. Now, there is a Camtrol controller. It's this little guy right here. And the nice thing is it has some Velcro on the back, and that allows you to just stick that right here on this V-slope. And you can see that now my thumb is right there where it needs to be to control the camera. The other end then would plug into the camera for your control. So you can turn it on and off, and you can do the zoom and all that kind of stuff. Now, one of the things is you probably don't want this cable to be flapping around here. And the Camtrol allows you to hide this inside of the handle. And so I'll show you really quickly. There is a little notch right here on the front, and you can put the cable down this notch, and it will actually go through the handle, and then it will come out this side right here, and you can put all the excess inside the handle. And so once you have this rigged up, you really don't have much cable to deal with. It's just a little bit of cable there, and then a little cable coming out the handle and to your camera. And so that makes sure that everything is nice and snug and you don't have things flapping around. Well, the other thing that's really neat about this is this Camtrol controller is compatible with most cameras, but not all cameras. Or maybe you have a controller that you want to use, like a VariZoom, Well, the front of this Camtrol has a little post here, and you can actually mount other controllers here. So if you have one that you're using like a VariZoom, it will actually mount on this post just like it would on a tripod controller. And so then you can have your custom controller right on the front of that. So the Camtrol is really flexible. You can configure it in a multitude of different setups. It's really durable. It's built to last. It's all metal, so it's going to take a lot of abuse. Now this whole thing is about $400 for the Prime. The Grand is $450, and then if you want the V-Slope with the remote, then you're talking about $500 for the whole rig. So it's very affordable, and it's great for people that are doing a lot of events and maybe even sports photography where you need to get those unusual point of views and have nice, clean, not jumpy kind of shots. And so that's what the Camtrol is going to do for you. Well, there you have it. It's the Camtrol Prime and also the Camtrol Grand, which is a little bit larger, and you can get those, of course, at Adorama. Well, thanks for joining me this week. For more information about tricks that you can do with video and still photography, make sure you look at the Adorama Learning Center for all kinds of articles. And if you have gear that you'd like me to review, please send your suggestions to AskMark at Adorama.com.
This episode is brought to you by AdoramaTV. Visit the Adorama Learning Center where you'll find photography tips and techniques, links to the gear used in this episode, and related videos. For all the latest photography, video, and computer gear, visit Adorama.com. And the next time you're in New York City, visit our store located on 18th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue.